Welcome back to Sports Dump, Lewis County's only sports podcast, formerly known as Let's Take About It, sponsored by Elam's Home Furnishings and Sleep Center, as well as our friends at Gobel Septic. I'm Aaron Van Tile, joined tonight by Chronicle sports editor Eric Trent and sports writer Alec Dietz. And fellas, I got to say, you put the show notes together, and I am just so impressed, so happy. I've been waiting for my counterparts on News Dump to do that, or at least look at the show notes before the show sometimes. And nothing. They just always roll in blind and are stunned to find out news has occurred in the newspaper they manage. And just we're flummoxed by my selection of stories. So it's great to see you guys taking an interest.
We're just built different over there in the sports department.
We get things done here.
Truly, you do. You are just the best. Just great hosts. As always, we got to start off with COVID schedule updates. Has anything changed? Any schools on hiatus? Anything like that?
Adna is shut down for the next 2 weeks.
I saw that they were doing remote learning for 2 weeks too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, their entire school. I think they have, I heard somewhere between 60 to 70 positive cases in the school. I know they have like double digits on the football team. They have a couple on the soccer team. So
16 games canceled. And
postponed. So what? Those games just get postponed. They're not a forfeit or anything, right?
The problem is the end of the they come right back at the last week of the season. There's no way they can.
Yeah, I think they're not
make them all
forfeits, which is weird because they made Tudor Lake forfeit all their games.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it applies differently to schools with better programs. So they get their games canceled instead of forfeited. So I don't know what their plan is because they're supposed to come out of quarantine next Friday, and I believe they're playing
Toledo.
The football team is going to be playing Toledo, so without any practice. So I don't know if that's actually going to happen. That doesn't sound like a good idea.
And that'll be for third or fourth place in the South.
Yeah,
South Division, which
third.
is that's going to be it's a big game.
Interesting. All right.
And then Onalaska had to reschedule their game because they were supposed to play Adna this week. So they had to look for yet another team, and I think Rainier from Oregon is who they're playing.
Yep.
Has Onalaska, can we just say Onalaska's had the weirdest season?
What the?
Yeah.
I mean, they've played, they've had Linden Christian. They're going to play Rainier, Oregon. They've played Tenino.
Yeah, they were supposed to play Sutherland the week they played Linden Christian, but they canceled on them last minute too. Mm-hmm. And that was already a rescheduled game from when Tootle forfeited against them. And then at the beginning of the year, they were supposed to play Oroville, and that also got canceled.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
They...
you know what? They're gritty out there. They're persevering. They're getting through it.
Yeah.
It does suck for Onalaska, though.
It does. But I'm sure they're glad to be playing games. And there's still like only one loss in league, so everyone looks at the record. It doesn't look great, but also like, I mean, they're going to go to state. Like
it's week 8 and they've played like one league game.
Yeah.
On that note, I've got. Should we do soccer? Or should we talk crossovers? Let's talk crossovers.
Okay.
So you guys had a story on. It's in Thursday's paper on the 2B crossover scenarios.
Yeah.
And
Very simple.
So yes,
very straightforward.
And so it looks like maybe there's a coin toss involved for the 3 versus 1 out of District 1 or something.
Yeah. So every other one makes 1 versus North 1 versus South 5. North 2 versus South 4, obviously vice versa for the other two, like normal.
Yeah, so that's all regular.
And then the North 3 versus the South 3, and then the Northwest League in District 1s, that's like Friday Harbor School, Coopville, I think, is up there, Orcas Island.
LaConner and such.
Yeah.
Concrete.
Whoever wins that league, they're going to do a coin toss between those 3 schools. The winner... the 2 winners of the coin toss are going to play in a half football game on Monday, that Monday, to decide who is going to host the loser of the coin toss in a full football game the crossover weekend. So it's like a play-in game.
Oh, that's wild. I kind of like it. Like, it's so out there. Like, normally they just do, like, all 3 teams meet at a neutral field and do, like, half games until one of them loses twice or something. I can't remember exactly how it works
that
out.
Sounds way worse.
That's
and this coin flip is via Zoom.
Can't they just log on to like a random number generator website while they're all through their?
It's weird.
Although I don't know if I'd want my season decided by a half football game, you know,
or a coin toss.
Or a coin. Well, I mean, I would almost rather lose the toss and get the full football game. Like, I don't want to have to play a half game just to get into the full game.
Well, what I would worry about happening is the two District 4 teams, the 3 seeds from either league, get into the half game, and then the winner of that just goes and kills the other team. Like
Which
I would feel bad
could.
if I were the other, the losing 3 seed on day one.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, like, there's a very, very good chance Toledo, which has had a really good year, they've only lost one game, is going to be the 3 seed
that coin flip.
in that coin flip.
Yeah. Then who would be the other 3 seed out of the North?
I think
Look at it.
It looks like
Napa Vine's
it looks
1.
like PL.
Peel Valley
Might
beat
be
3.
PWV.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Napa
Because they beat
Vine,
Morton, I think.
Forks, and then PWV. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
And
would
Morton
be.
is in 4th, and then I think Rainier and RSB are winless.
And then in
And
the
they're playing
South,
this
you're
week.
looking at Kalama, Onalaska, Toledo is the 3.
And then
Or not
Adna,
Raymond, Adna,
Wahkiakum
Yeah.
are in the mix too, I think.
Interesting.
So,
And the odd man out in that coin flip has to travel to the winner of the two teams that played, which is really weird.
Yeah, that could result in a lot of travel if like one of the North team or the District 1 team winds up in the 3 versus 3 or in the first half game matchup. And then I don't. Wow.
And that is something they clarified. If the team from the Northwest League is part of that first half game, they will travel no matter what. But if they win that half game, then they get to host whoever loses the toss.
Right. I guess.
So if 2 teams in the Southwest Washington win the coin flip, I think they'd find a neutral site to play at.
Well, this is all very compelling stuff. I can't wait to see how this plays out.
I know. And we found out 2A is much simpler. I think it's top 4 teams from EVCO, and then
The 4 from GSHL split, and then 1As are probably 3 versus 3 out of Trico and Evergreen.
Yep.
That's nice and simple.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We like that.
Yeah, that's.
I'm not sure I'm a fan of the 2B setup, but I mean they're doing the best with what they got. I think some of it had to do with I think the Northwest League had like an extra state bid, so
Yeah.
it's obviously the WIA doesn't make it easy on them, so I think they tried to. I think they were doing the best they could.
Yeah. Just give the 2B 16 bursts, man. Let it work itself out.
Seriously.
Yeah.
They should.
Yeah.
All right, so this story is from Michigan. I would just want to get your guys' thoughts. So a school board in Michigan is filing protest after a player's 16-goal game against their winless team. So there was one player scored 16 goals in was it a 16-0 or in a 17-0 victory by Benzie Central on September 29th, setting state and national records for most goals in a high school game. This kid's name is Kevin Hubble.
They're playing boys soccer in.
Well, this is in Michigan, and so
Of course
Kingsley.
they're backwards.
Yeah, Kingsley was the losing school, and so their school board met to decide about sending a letter to the other school about how mean it was that they scored all these goals. So, what I want to know from you guys is anybody sympathetic in this situation? If you had kids and they got beat 17-0 and one kid scored 16 goals, would you go to the school board and be like, "Hey, send a letter"? And how do you think that would go over in Lewis County?
That would not happen. Would not happen here.
Yeah, I don't think that'd happen here. There's certainly something to be said for not piling on and trying to pad stats and all that kind of thing. But it's another thing to complain about it. At some level, you just got to play better.
Yeah,
you got to stop them.
I came down at everybody kind of looks like a jerk here.
Yeah,
The kid that scored 16 goals, the coach should have taken him out. I don't really blame the kid who is, according to this article, one of the best players in Michigan for scoring 16 goals. If your coach leaves you in, I don't know, maybe stop after 10. That's a reasonable number for one game of soccer. But on the other hand, like the coach should have taken him out at halftime.
Yeah.
And on the other side of things, like the parents of this team that lost by 17, like you're not helping your kids by going to the school board and saying like, hey, we need to write a letter to tell those jerks to not be so mean to us. Like, after that point, every other team is going to score on you and be like, oh, you gonna have your mom write a letter?
Right.
You're going to tell them to maybe we can stop beating you so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought this story was interesting.
Yeah. Would you vote for that kid for league MVP just because he's 16 of his goals came against a winless team?
It kind of depends on what numbers he puts up for the season. Like, how many goals a game is he averaging? Like 5, 10? The team that lost is 0-16 and has only scored 7 goals all season at the time of the story. So, like, they're not great. And so, I don't know. Like, I feel like if it happened around here and some kid did that, then everybody else would just dunk on him and be like, oh, wow, he scored all those goals against this team. Everybody knows they suck. Like, cool, man. Way to go. Like, he'd probably just get, like, checked really hard in the next game or something.
Yep.
This
anyway. Reminds me of the Forks Morton Whitepass game this past week.
What?
Should we get into that now or later?
What was it? Was that the 69-8 game?
Yes.
That's a lot of points.
Morton Whitepass went up there with 15 kids because they didn't want to cancel on Forks because it was Forks homecoming night. Mm-hmm. And Forks was calling timeouts before the end of quarters so they could score another touchdown. And the game was already well out of hand. And they were just running up to score on them. And Morton Whitepass had 4 kids on the sideline, 4 reserves.
Yeah, that's weak. Come on. Even if it's homecoming, like, you get to the 40 and you just, like, let it go. Like, just chill out.
Well, especially the team that canceled on Kalama because they didn't have a
quarterback.
I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, Forks.
I don't know. Not great. Let's see. You guys want to go through the week 7? Yeah, we're in week 8 now.
Yeah.
Jeez. Wow.
It's wild.
Yeah, there's only two regular season schedule games for each team left.
All right, let's start with the 2A games from week 7. WF West 45, Aberdeen 14. I can tell you the band sounded phenomenal for WF West.
You could hear it from Centralia?
Yeah. No, they let the middle school kids play with the pep band if they wanted. So Ty, my kid, was in playing the trombone up there.
Ooh.
So, yeah, they sounded great.
Nice.
Gavin Fugate, 3 touchdowns. Brock Guyette, 2 touchdowns. WF West is on a heater. They've won 3 in a row. They're 3-1 league, 5-2 overall. So looking good for them.
Crucial win for league standings for them.
Yeah.
This game.
Yeah. It always winds up like you can kind of take the Tumwater game as a given loss for the most part. And then you're all, jockeying. And so 3-1 league is pretty good with 2 to go.
And 2 very winnable games. So they should finish. I think they have Black Hills and Centralia. So
okay.
Should finish second in the league.
They've beaten the 3 teams that are right behind them in the standings: Rochester, Shelton, and Aberdeen. Yeah, so they're sitting good for second place.
All right. Centralia 29, Hoquiam 14. Tigers snap a 10-game losing streak. Ooh. They're in the win column. 23 points in the second half after a 6-6 tie at the break. Chase Soboleski returned a fumble for a touchdown. Had 128 yards of total offense, so it's nice to see him back out there. And good to see the Tigers in the win column.
Yeah. Yeah.
They needed this.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, a good confidence boost. Definitely for the end of the year and heading into the Swamp Cup.
Yeah. Camas beat Tumwater 28-26. 4A Camas built a big lead, held on after a late rally. Alex Overbay took over he's like Centralia's grandson, kind of. Took over at quarterback for Brady Prothero in the second half and led the near comeback. T-Birds 4-2, undefeated in league. And I checked the WIA rankings board, and they are not in the top 10.
What
in the RPI list?
Well, they have 2 losses, so
yeah.
Yeah, God, why do you lose to the best team in Oregon and then a school with twice your enrollment? Come on,
the defending 4A champs.
Yeah,
what are you doing, Tumwater?
In the 1As, Tenino 32, Montesano 26. Dakari Hickel 187 yards and a touchdown, 8 tackles, 2 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. Dylan Spicer 102 yards and a touchdown. They were up 13-12 at halftime. First win against Montesano since 2013. First home win over Montesano since 1997. Alec, you were there. Were they pumped?
They were pumped. That was, they sort of built up a pretty big lead at the half. Were kind of thoroughly controlling things. And then, some penalties got in the way. and I think penalties pretty much gifted Montesano a early touchdown in the second half, and they kind of build momentum off that. But then right at the end, Takari Hickel came up and made a sack, and game over first. I mean, they weren't even born the last time Tenino beat Montesano at home. So
yeah.
Huge win for that. I think they're 6-1. I want to say
6-1. Yeah.
Are they contenders or pretenders?
I mean,
I think they're contenders. We can say they're contenders now.
So.
I am officially I have Beaver fever. I regret picking Montesano in grid picks last week. I have seen the lights. I have done my own research. So Takari, tell me about Takari Hickel. What?
Oh God,
is he like just the Derrick Henry of the 1A Evco or what?
What's crazy about Takari, I think, just from an all-around football player standpoint, he probably is. I think, in my opinion, the best player in our area. He might not be the best offensive player. He might not be the best defensive player, but just from impact in the game on both sides, and he's not carrying his team, but he's also the biggest reason why they're having this kind of. He's just. You look at the stat line. He had 200 yards rushing, 5 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. He's just he's the engine of that team, and they'll go as far as he'll take them.
How much?
Go ahead.
Oh, how much do they throw? They don't throw much, do they?
They didn't throw a single pass against Montesano.
Oh, he'd love to see it.
Yeah,
that's a fast game. You love it.
Oh God, it was great. Other than the penalties, they had 14 penalties in the second half or something.
Yeah, kicks off at 7. You're walking to your car at 8:35.
Yep,
nothing better.
Yeah.
In the 2Bs, Kalama 58, Onalaska 6, Jackson Essery passed for 249 yards, ran for 130. Rematch of the 2019 title game that Onalaska won by, I think they won by 18 or so, 16-18. So the Loggers are curiously 2-4 overall, and yet 3-1 in league. What's the takeaway from this game? Is it Onalaska not as good as we thought, or Kalama just really good? I am leaning towards Kalama just being really good.
I think Kalama being really good and Kalama being very angry.
Because they'd lost 2 in a row to Onalaska.
Yeah.
They lost last season in Onalaska.
I don't know if anyone
season.
read the TDN story from it, but yeah, they were pretty thrilled that they beat him by that amount.
Wow. Kalama 58, hanging 50 on him. That's
a lot of Baltimore material if they play again, that's for sure, man. They were going off.
And Ani might make the state semifinals with 5 losses. I think they could. They could lose to Rainier next week, and I would still pick them to go to the semifinals. I'm not joking.
I might too, honestly. They hammered Toledo, and I think Toledo's one of the better teams in 2B.
Right.
So they're 3-1 league because one of those was a forfeit, but in that forfeit week they also played a game and lost, right?
Yes, that was they got the forfeit win over Tudor Lake, but lost to 2A Linden Christian.
1A
Linden Christian.
Okay, all right. PL Valley 39, Rainier 28. Ian Sprowski 21 of 40 for 297 yards and 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions for Rainier. Blake Howard 84 rushing yards for PL Valley, and the Titans outscored Rainier 22-6 in the second half. What do we take away from this? Is PL Valley kind of establishing themselves as the number 3 in that the North Division?
They are. And this was actually a good win for them because when Rainier, I was there for the first half. When Rainier came out, they looked like they had a full team finally. They had most of their players back that were injured, not Sean Mahaffey, but it was a close game there in the first half. And PWVs, they're looking pretty good. I think they'll get third place in that division.
Yeah, they pretty soundly beat Morton, White Pass.
Yep.
And then I think they only lost to undefeated Forks by 2 and probably should have won that game. So
yeah.
They're having a pretty good year this year.
Yeah.
All right. Napa Vine 61, Eric Trent, Raymond, South Bend. The Ravens?
Ravens, yeah.
Ravens 21. Gavin Parker.
It was an upset.
Here we go.
Gavin Parker, 2 carries for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Cale Stanley, 5 carries, 125 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ashton Demers hit 4 of 7 passes for 103 yards and a touchdown. And backup quarterback Colin Shields had a 62-yard touchdown. Napa Vine, still pretty good. They play Forks this weekend for the North Division Championship, it looks like.
Yep.
Yeah, both undefeated.
All right, we'll get to Napa Vine in a little bit. Toledo 48, Cascade Christian 32. Jeffrey Glass, 212 rushing yards, 3 touchdowns. And this is non-league, right?
Yes. This is non-league. Yes.
Are they 1A, 2A? What are they?
They might be 1A.
I feel like they're one. They've got to be 1A.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Toledo plays Kalama this weekend. Chinooks need a win to earn the South Division title, and Toledo can throw a wrench in those plans.
Yep.
Forks 69, Morton White Pass 0. Was it 69-0 or was it 69-8? I thought it was 69-8.
I think it was 6. I don't remember now.
Let's pull it up real quick.
I might have mistyped. Oh, God. You put together notes once and you make a mistake.
Jeez, it's okay, guys. We talked about this one. Forks racked up 606 yards of offense. Cool. Good work.
Good job.
Happy homecoming.
Now you get Napa Vine.
Your most famous alumni is Eric Schwartz.
Most famous for... Was Forks the Twilight location, and then they filmed it at...
Kalama,
yeah.
Yeah, Kalama, if you drive by, has a Twilight location sign hanging on a building.
And they didn't get to play this year.
No, that would have been great.
That sucks. It would have been the Twilight Bowl.
The Edward versus Jacob Bowl, finally.
Damn. It needed to be decided on the field.
1B games, Mossjärg blew out Tahola 58-0. Keegan Kolb took the opening kickoff 70 yards for a score. Ben Cruz had a game-high 75 yards and a touchdown on 4 carries. They held the Chitwins to negative yards. And Braden Cornelius, hell of a name. Wow.
That is a hell
great
of a
name. 3 sacks, 2 hurries, 2 forced fumbles, and a scoop and score.
They track hurries at Mossy?
They gave us depth, man. That's awesome.
They gave us hurries.
Oh, this was the 69-8 game. Winlock 69, Oakville 8. Neil Patching, 6 carries, 93 yards, 4 touchdowns. Nolan Swafford took the opening kickoff, 69 yards for a touchdown, and had a 44-yard interception return. Peyton Sickles, 67-yard interception return, and Oakville quarterback Ashton Boyd ran 10 times for 102 yards.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's about what we expected.
Yeah, that all looks about right. You guys had any bad experiences in public urination lately?
I'll tell you, I had a good one.
Did you?
At the cross country, what do you call meet today? I went into a Global Septic porta potty, and it was a great experience.
They're the
really?
best.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. I don't know why I'm surprised. Fine work.
Yeah.
I think we should do a promotion. If you happen to see or use a Global Septic sanitation station, take a picture and tweet it at one of us, and we promise we will retweet it with like the emoji with the heart eyeballs.
Yeah.
That's I
can commit to that.
That's our big promotion. Global Septic. Septic service and portable sanitation provided for a whole bunch of counties around here. Thurston, Lewis, Mason, Cowlitz, Grays Harbor County. Find them at all your favorite, parks, track meets, football games, wherever you go. Whenever you're out and about observing sports, you'll be in good hands with the Global Septic Sanitation Station. They do septic pumping and inspection and riser installation, commercial septic pumping, my favorite, grease trap services.
Grease trap services.
Of course, you can rent porta potties, portable sinks. Visit Global Septic, GOEBEL septic.com, or give them a call, 736-2167. Maybe just call them and tell them you had a great time in their porta potty. I'm sure they'd love to hear about it. We're very happy to have them as a sponsor. Just thrilled. Other sports are happening. Trent, you were out on the links today?
I was. It was supposed to be a monsoon, and it did not rain the whole time I was there. I was there 9 a.m. to noon. Von Wassen, after day 1, is leading 13 local golfers who advanced to day 2. The cutoff was 45. The top 45 golfers moved to day 2. Wassen is in 4th place after day 1. He shot a 75. Dane Huddleston of Woodland shot a 68. He's in first.
So many Huddlestons in Woodland.
Huddleston, man. So there's 13 locals who are still in it for state. They don't even know yet how many are going to be going to state.
Yeah, they'll decide that later.
So it's like, hopefully you shoot well. Maybe you'll get to go to state.
Try your hardest
next spring.
How about the kid from Chehalis? That's pretty good, the freshman.
Freshman placed 6th. Ben Halverstad.
Good for Ben Halverstad.
Yep. Cole Wasson was 10th.
All right. Let's see. And they are wrapping that up Thursday.
Tomorrow, 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Okay. Of course, at beautiful Riverside Golf Course.
Yep.
Two Tenino guys are going to districts.
They did. David Dallaire and Ethan Baxter are playing tomorrow at 11 a.m. at Tumwater Valley Golf Club.
Nice.
It's the first time. This is the first year Tenino's had a golf team, so it's good to see they got two kids going to districts.
And let's see, we got some boys tennis. WF West is undefeated and won their third straight sub-district title on Tuesday.
Yep. They've won 33 matches in a row, dating back to
wild.
3 years ago or 2 years ago.
Who's their number one guy?
Justin Chung placed first at sub-districts. He got second last year, I think, in districts. And then the doubles, Javen Hahn got third in singles. He's a freshman, so he's moving on. And then the doubles team got first, Joseph Chung and Aaron Bogus.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Alec, you got some 2A District 4 cross-country results?
Yeah, that was Wednesday in Tumwater at Pioneer Park, and I guess it makes sense that the Tumwater kid kind of pulled away on his home course. John Hoffer won the EVCO title. The time is escaping me, but it was very fast, I assure you. And Rochester's Levi Jennings picked up third on the boys' side, and then the top, I think on the girls' side, Shelton had the top two finisher. Matt Beatty was there. A friend of the show.
Matt Beatty.
Friend of the show.
Friend of the program, Matt Beatty. Great.
There are two Shelton runners on the girls' side finished first, but then a WF West freshman, Mercedes Ricks, finished third in all of EVCO, so that's pretty good. So next up for them, I think next week they head to Woodland for districts, and then it's like the top, I want to say 28 runners go to state or something like that. So pretty good chance there'll be a couple area kids going to state for cross country.
How was Matt? Was he just affable as usual?
Oh yeah, just kept talking about how you, Aaron, aren't doing so well in grid picks this year.
You need to do a little bit
better and all that.
Classic Matt, just playing the hits.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You and Jordan. I don't know what it is this year.
We're just not as into it in the past, I guess. You absorb a lot more hanging out in the sports department every day.
Yeah. Excuses.
Mossy Rock Volleyball won its 12th straight match on Tuesday. They beat Onalaska, Tudor Lake?
PL.
Oh, they beat PL. Okay.
PL.
They beat Tudor Lake for their 11th straight win.
Okay, and that was the only loss they'd had this season, too,
yes,
right? They avenged that.
They have beaten everybody on their schedule this year.
Okay, and how do we think they're going to do going forward?
I think if they don't win state, it'll be a disappointment.
Where do you...
I think, they'll win.
Where are they on the RPI board? Let's check.
Do they do RPI for 1B?
They do. They are number 3 behind Nia Bay and Oakesdale.
What do they have to do to be number 1?
Well, Nia Bay is number 1 and they're 7-0.
7-0.
And Oakesdale is 12-0, and I'm not even going to get into, but who have they played?
No,
right.
That's a football only thing. And WF West Soccer plays Black Hills on Thursday to determine second and third in league. How are the Bearcats looking?
They are looking pretty good.
Yeah. They beat Black Hills earlier this season, I believe, 1-0.
They did. Yep.
So, it's a big game. It's
yes.
a big game. I think Tumwater's kind of already wrapped up the number 1 spot, but obviously it's better to finish second than third. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tumwater's 10-0.
Great analysis.
I know.
You and Matt Beatty.
That's what I get
hanging
paid
out,
the big
you?
bucks for. I know. I think you spend an afternoon with Matt Beatty, and that's what happens.
The all-time Matt Beatty take was, they got a lot of tall kids, and that's really important, especially in high school basketball. Thanks, Matt.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not. Time for the perfect report. Who's still undefeated after we're up to 7 weeks? The answer, Napavine.
Yep.
Who are their last 2 games?
Forks and who do they play next? Is it Mort White Path?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Let's see. Their last game is against at Morton White Pass in Randall.
Because I'm their biggest fan. No, I'm not.
Let's see. They host Forks, which is better than playing at Forks, of course, and I think that is a winnable game.
Yes.
What's the temperature on Napavine versus Kalama, given Kalama's 58-6 win over Onalaska?
I still voted Napavine number 1 in the AP poll.
They picked up.
Still rolling with Napavine.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about the AP rankings coming up, but I'm pretty sure Napavine picked up another first place vote.
We will get to
which
that
is
in a
weird.
second.
It's a Kalama, whatever. We'll get to that in a second. But I think at this point it looks like it's going to be a Napavine Kalama, and hopefully they play each other in the state title game.
Yeah,
and not in the semis. I don't know if that would happen though.
They
would probably see them on opposite sides.
They will be seated on opposite sides almost certainly, and so they wouldn't be able to meet until the finals.
But that should be a good game.
Yeah, hopefully.
Hopefully they get to play.
I mean, theoretically.
Yes.
Hopefully it gets to that point.
Yes.
I think that's a game everybody wants to see. They have had something of a fun rivalry over the last few years.
And Napavine hasn't won a state title, I think, since 2016?
2015, Wyatt Stanley's senior year.
15, 16?
2015? Yeah, 15, 16. So
Yeah.
2015.
Yeah. So
they've been in like the Final Four every year since then, I think, too.
Right.
Let's see. RPI board, the 2As. Any guess as to who's number one? It's Stillicum.
Stillicum.
Number 2, North Kitsap. Number 3, Ridgefield. They're all undefeated.
Yep.
Linden 4, Prosser 5. You got to go down to 9 to find the first EVCO team, and it's the Bearcats.
Wow.
WF West, number 9.
Wow.
Good.
Even though Tumwater
It's
beat
deserved.
WF West 34-0.
Tumwater is 11th. They are sandwiched around
rankings.
beautiful
Okay.
Squalicum.
They need to change their RPI rankings, man. They're so dumb.
They're so bad.
They, at some point, if you don't account for score, it's pointless. But if you account for score, then it's going to encourage people to run up the score, and you don't want that. But
Yeah, because that's not happening.
I mean, it's obviously happening anyway. But still, it would probably get worse if I don't know. They're just stupid. Is Enumclaw? I'm assuming Enumclaw is higher than Tumwater.
Let's see.
Tumwater beat them by
Enumclaw-
50.
Yeah, Enumclaw's 7th.
They lost by 50 to Tumwater. Whatever.
Makes no
Did
sense.
they lose by 50 to Tumwater?
Week
Yeah,
one.
they lost 56-6.
Yeah.
So, all right, there we go.
Yep. That was a big upset, actually, according to RPI rankings.
In the 1As, Eatonville's number 1, 7-0.
Wow. I think Royal's been number 1 for a while, so they got knocked
Eatonville's
down.
closest game by far, 24-22 win over Tenino.
Your Tenino Beavers.
My Tenino Beavers. I
don't
can't wait
know.
to wear my Tenino hat to work tomorrow.
I don't think Tenino's in the top
You were
10.
just in Tenino tonight.
I was in Tenino tonight. I helped to moderate a city council and Port of Olympia candidate debate. It was lovely. Tenino is...
Stay on subject. This isn't News Dump.
Sorry.
We don't talk about that here.
We don't want to talk about the news. We're talking about sports. Tenino is number 11 in the RPI rankings, and it's a disgrace. Let's see. Although the only team with a worse record than Tenino in the top 10 is Zilla at 8.
You know, Zilla is playing those powerhouses over there.
Zilla, yeah. Should we do a who have they played? They lost to
Yeah.
Prosser, and they lost to Royal 42-0.
So they lost to... Oh,
But
okay.
they beat some powerhouses. They beat something called College Place, 69-0. They beat LaSalle, noted private school and former high school girls basketball powerhouse LaSalle, 70-0. They beat Pullman, 34-0. I'm sure Bob Boland is upset somewhere. And so their wins have been 34-0, 69-0, 70-0, and 49-7.
And they've lost.
And their losses have been 38-7 and 42-0. They have not played anything resembling a close game. What a weird...
Yeah. Royal is like the one team on the east side that I know for a fact is very good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've
yeah.
lost like 5 games in the last decade or something. It's like absurd.
Yeah.
They just win every game by a lot. So
Yeah, they were on a 76-game winning streak a couple years ago.
yeah,
Yep.
yep.
In the 2Bs, number 1, Kalama. 6-0.
Yeah.
Number 2, Lind Ritzville.
They finally got unseated. Look at
Finally.
that.
Yeah, they went out there and beat up on Reardon 49-7 and lost their number 1 spot.
Wow.
They
West
will-
side bias.
They will play Asotin and Colfax to round things out.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Let's see. Columbia Burbank 3, Okanagan 4, Napavine all the way down at 5.
Yeah.
1 spot ahead of Forks.
Yep. I think
then-
Adna's up there.
Adna is 9 with a
Yeah.
4-2 record. Toledo 11, PL Valley 13, Onalaska 15,
Wow.
Morton White Pass 18. Wow.
Wow.
Timberwolves, all right.
I think Morton's 4-3.
They are 4-3.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doing good.
Yeah. Having a pretty good year.
Not bad at all. And yeah, that's RPI. In the 1Bs, Nacel's 5, Winlock is 13. Winlock 4-1 according to the RPI. Really?
No, they're like 6-1 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are 5-1. They should be according
Split
to this.
the difference.
I don't think they played Tohola. Did they play Tohola?
No.
No score reported.
No.
No, they didn't.
They got Leshine Acosta. So they could finish, 7-1. That's not bad. Acosta's 1-0.
They should be.
They should beat Oakville.
Winlock should finish second in league.
Yeah.
And
After
I think
beating-
Mossy is going to finish third.
Yep. And they have to finish third because they only take 3 to the playoffs. So
All
they
right.
need third.
All right, moving on to the AP rankings. In the 2As, Tumwater, number 1 with a 4-2 record.
They lost votes this week for the first time all year.
Yeah, Ridgefield got 3 first-place votes. They're 7-0. No love for WFS. Did you guys vote for WFS at all? Throw them in there?
10th.
I forgot.
What?
I was going to put them 10th, and I forgot. I realized after I already sent it.
This is worse when you forgot you changed Nightcrawler's assignment, and they were like, oh, why does this photos in?
It's been a long 8 weeks.
Yeah, I got WFS 10th.
All right.
I think they're good.
In the 1As, Tenino's up to 5th. All right. They're the top 4 teams are all 7-0. Royal, Eatonville, Toppenish, and Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Tenino at 5 is 6-1. Good for Tenino. I see neither of you guys threw him a first place vote, though. Kind of rude.
Well, Eatonville beat them, so I had to get it.
Well, super fans like myself are very upset.
Sorry, I guess I'm not enough of a bigger believer.
In the 2Bs, Napavine first place with 5 first place votes, 7-0. Kalama, 2 first place votes. They're 6-0 in second. Then you got Okanagan Forks, Lind, Ritzville, Sprague, Columbia Burbank, Toledo at 7.
Toledo ahead of
8.
Onalaska. I don't know how that happened.
Onalaska sitting in 8th place with a 2-4 record, and one of those 2 wins was when they blew out Toledo. What a wild year for Onalaska.
Yeah.
Well, look at Kalama beats Ani by 50, and they lost a first place vote this week.
Yeah.
I don't know who decided after this week they wanted to change their mind.
It was probably one of you guys, wasn't it? I'm looking at you,
No,
Trent.
I voted for Napavine every week of the year, number 1.
It was me.
It was you?
God.
I didn't vote last week. It was a crazy Thursday, and I didn't vote last week. So
I think a lot of people just didn't vote for Ani because they're 2-4. So I don't know, but I know in SB Live's rankings they still have Onalaska at 4th because they're they're still the 4th best team in the state.
look who they lost to. Yeah,
I think
it's
I
crazy.
had Ani ahead of Toledo because they beat him obviously. So I don't know.
Me too. Yep.
Wow, Trent, what a wild voter. He's just, if you were in New York, you would be
He's
like,
a wild card.
If you were in New York, it would be like Derek Jeter's 4th championship. He'd be like, now he has earned his pinstripes.
Yeah.
In the 1Bs, no, Nacel's not the top 5.
No one we care
Winlock,
about.
Yeah, nobody we know. Elmira Cooley Heartline is 7-0 and got all first votes, so they're probably really good.
They beat Odessa.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why. I think Odessa was number 1 all year, and then they played, and Elmira Cooley Hotline beat him.
Oh, the only reason Lummy's 3rd is because they beat Mossy Rock.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the only
that's
reason. That's the only reason.
People saw that and they're like, "Yep, 3rd."
I keep putting Nacelle in there. I'm surprised they didn't get 6 or more points.
the Comets?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should.
Wait. Yeah, I don't know if this is right.
I think they counted the votes
Because
wrong.
don't you, if you get 5, isn't that, it counts down from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. If I put them 5th, they have 6 points.
Are you asking them to stop the count?
I'm calling fraud.
Which one of you guys wants to talk about your home furnishing situation?
Well, I already talked about my...
Oh, yeah,
Portable.
you talked about Trent. How are things in the Trent household?
I can always use. I'm still looking for a couch. I still have that couch where
Boy,
you have
do I have
to,
news for you. Over at our friends at Elam's Home Furnishings and Sleep Center, they can hook you up. They're at 1530 South Gold Street in Centralia. You can call them at 807-1211. And just a quick glance at their website. Their living room sets, they've got group seating, individual seating, storage, and accents, all for just fully furnish your living room. Their bedroom, I regret to inform you, I'm not sure if they have group seating for the bedroom. I'm sure you can move some things over if that's, that's how you choose to live your life. That sounds great. Beds, accessories, accents, and storage, everything you want. Dining room set? How's your dining room? You got a dining room?
I do not have a dining room.
Well, you know what? You go visit them and you will want to get a bigger home just so you can fill it with their beautiful dining room sets, tables and sets, seating, storage, accent pieces. You got a home
everything.
Yeah, you could just go over there, run up some bills in their office department, and just fill out the sports section.
That would be nice.
It's just beautiful mahogany desks, all that kind of stuff. Replace the TV on the wall. Throw some theater seating in there. You guys can just chill, eat some popcorn, take some calls from a couch together.
I'm down for that.
That sounds
Let's
great.
do that.
Give them a call. Elam's Home Furnishings, 807-1211. Send them an email, info@elamshf.com, ELAMSHF.com. Happy to have them as a sponsor as well. Now, do we need to talk about the elephant in the room, last week's grid picks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't
Rather
believe
not, but yeah.
I can't believe you fools all missed Tumwater Camas.
Yeah.
I also missed it, but I just wanted to point that out so nobody talks about me picking Montesano over Tenino. I asked the Beavers to prove it, and they did. I'm fully on the bandwagon. Tumwater and Montesano were the only two I missed. You guys only missed the Tumwater Camas game. Feeling pretty good about yourselves?
Feeling pretty good.
You like what you've done?
Yeah. Yeah, I've only missed like one or two every week, so.
Yeah.
Chad missed several. Jordan
which
picked
Chad
Taylor. Yeah, Chad Kramer, the guest. He picked Hoquiam over Centralia incorrectly, as did Jordan Nalen. He also picked Tumwater. Everyone picked Tumwater. He had Tenino over Montesano. Good for Chad. And he picked Wakayakan beating Adna, which did not happen. Did that game get played?
That game didn't even get played.
Why is that circled?
I don't know.
It's not our circles.
That's an X. Yeah. And he picked Morton White Pass over Forks, which, you got to give it to him. It was a homer pick. He's a Morton man. Good guy. I always enjoy Chad. And this week's grid picks, let's run them down. Game 1, we got to talk about this one. Centralia at WF West, it's the Swamp Cup. The record is 12 games in a row for WF West. The last time they won was in October of 2008. I remember that because it was a week and a half, I think, before my son Ty was born. He is now in 7th grade. That was the last time Centralia beat WF West. Is that going to change this year?
Unfortunately, no. It's probably not going to happen.
I think WF West is the favorite. What are the Bearcats doing well? What makes them good? Who's good? Who are some names to watch?
Their main offensive player, Gavin Fugate, quarterback. He might even be their leading rusher this year, but he threw 6 touchdown passes in one game. He's a pretty good thrower, and he can run, and he's tall and lanky. Their defense is also really good. I was looking at what they lost to Kelso 7-0 in the home opener, and then I looked at Kelso's record after that. Since then, and Kelso's been averaging like 35 points a game against Class 3A teams, and so WF West defense is really good, and it's going to be hard for any team to score on them. And Centralia's offense is not that great. It's a little bit better with Chase Soboleski back, but it's going to be tough for them to score against the Bearcats.
All right, Alec, how do you feel about this one?
Yeah, I think I'm in the same boat. I think. It's cool to see Centralia kind of picking up steam a little bit. They've been getting better week to week. I think they're a lot better football team than they were at the beginning of the year. And obviously picking up, Chase Soboleski helps and, getting your quarterback more reps and all that. But, the Bearcats are just rolling right now. I mean, other than that first game where they were held off the scoreboard against Kelso, really good Kelso team. The only slip-up was to Tumwater, which everyone pretty much slips up against Tumwater. So, WF West is having a really good year, and I think Centralia is still trying to build what they're trying to do. So, hopefully it'll stay close, for a little bit. But I do think WF West is going to pull away.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
You're not going to give your opinions?
Oh, yeah. I think the Bearcats are going to win.
Okay.
Hot take.
Yeah.
Let's see. Aberdeen at Rochester. Everyone went Rochester except for Jordan, who went Aberdeen. Interesting.
I think it's going to be close.
I think so too.
Very close.
Rochester coming off a big loss at Ellensburg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I think Ellensburg it seems like I didn't realize they took Prosser to overtime. And Prosser's got a really, really dynamic offense and quarterback. So, they might be, that 41-0 loss to Royal might not look so bad right now.
Tumwater Black Hills. Everyone went Tumwater. That's the Pioneer Bowl. That is Friday at 7 in Tumwater District Stadium, of course.
Sid Otten Field.
Yes. That's both teams' home field, theoretically. So, Tenino at Elma. Oh, I couldn't hammer Tenino fast enough.
Yeah.
I like the Beavers in this one. They're playing in Elma. Folks, the Bosler boys are not walking through that door. This is going to be a
weird things happen in Grace Harbor, though.
It is
we gotta talk
Grace
about
Harbor
that.
County. Yeah. Forks at Napavine. Everybody went Napavine, as they should. Raymond South Bend at Rainier. Everybody except our guest guesser, Doug Ashmore. How'd you get Doug?
It was tough. It took a lot of convincing, some bribing, but I got him to join.
Oh, Doug's great. Yeah, I think I sent Kilgore out to cover like a baseball game one time, and Doug was keeping the official book or something, and Doug spent the whole game just like bullying Kilgore. It was great.
Yep.
Doug was also notorious. His brother-in-law, Scott Chamberlain, would hire him to keep like the official book at playoff games they'd hold at Wheeler Field. But Doug was a very harsh grader, and so every team would come out with like 4 or 5 errors when they had probably earned like 1 or 2. Doug would just be up in the error. Yeah, I should have had that error. It's great, fun.
Not giving anything away, anything for free.
Yeah, I like Doug. Anyway, Doug picked Raymond South Bend over Rainier.
That's another one that was kind of a toss-up for me.
Yeah.
2 teams that have kind of struggled, but obviously played really good teams. So, I think Rainier's passing offense is dynamic enough if Sprofsky can try to limit his turnovers.
Threw 42 passes against PWV.
It's a lot of passes.
In 3 picks.
Yeah, that was a lot of picks.
You take out 3 picks, they might win that game.
He's a gunslinger. Can we
Brett
call him a
Favre.
gunslinger now? Yeah. Toledo Kalama. Everybody went Kalama except Chad, who went Toledo.
And we appreciate Chad a lot for that.
Chad Kalama's pretty good.
Kalama's very good.
Peel Valley at Owaco. PWVs across the board.
Yep.
Naysale at Oakville. Naysale across the board, except for Chad, went Oakville. Just shameless homer. Winlock at Chief Leshai. Everybody's got Winlock.
Yep.
MWP at North Beach. In Oyahut. Everybody's got MWP.
Not many people know that.
Yeah, people forget.
Yep.
Let's see. Onalaska at Rainier, Oregon. Kind of split. You guys went Rainier. Everybody else went Onalaska. I don't know. I like the Loggers in this one. Why not? What the hell?
It's hard to tell, man.
I just had to ask the guys from the TDN to fill me in on what Rainier does. Apparently, they play a pretty similar style of football. They basically just run like 8 linemen and Wildcat every single play. So I think it'll be interesting.
It's going to be like the Spider-Man meme.
Yeah.
What classification are they?
It might be over. Well, Oregon's weird as hell.
Yeah,
they do the. Yeah, they go up to 6A. So
Oregon's weird as hell. They start with 1A and go up to 6A. Not like
why don't they do 2B? Come on,
not like Logical Washington 1B, 2B, 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. God, everybody knows.
Yeah, but I don't know. That game might be over at 8. I think I'm setting the over under for passes thrown at 4.
Yeah, that's fair. I'd take the under.
I'm taking the under.
Tudor Lake at Mossy Rock. Mossy across the board. Vikings are looking good.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Where are you guys going to be Friday night? And what are you doing tomorrow, first of all? What are you guys covering?
Oh, I'm covering the 2B Central League Cross Country Championships in Onalaska.
Okay.
In the afternoon.
Oh.
Are you going to WF? Oh, I didn't know that.
I thought you were going somewhere else. I don't know.
Where are you going?
I don't even know.
WF Soccer, maybe?
I take it day by day.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean,
live by the seat of your pants.
Like, it could get canceled for all I know. Like,
right.
I think we already talked about the girls soccer game between
you're
Black
going
Hills.
to WFS Black Hills girls soccer, according to the schedule.
Did you sign me up for that? I didn't choose that.
No, somebody else has access to that document. Must have been Crawler.
Yeah, Crawler jumped in there.
Is Crawler in there on that thing?
WFS Black Hills girls soccer. That's the first, second, and third in league, essentially, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Oh, I gotta go all the way to Black Hills though. I went to Tumwater today. I don't want to drive up there again.
It's like 20 minutes.
Or you can go to Mossy Rock football.
Yeah, that's like at 45 minutes. It's not that far. It's like 35, 40.
It's like going to Toledo.
It's further than Toledo, significantly.
What's further than Toledo?
Mossy.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Mossy
I
Rock
meant
is.
Black Hills.
Oh, Black Hills is a shorter drive than Toledo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You go to
They're
Toledo all
both
the
right
time.
off the freeway, though.
I do not go to. I've been to Toledo twice.
Josh
goes to
feels
Toledo all the
closer,
time.
though. Let's see.
I don't know
and
where
then,
I've been. Where have we been the most this year?
WF West and Centralia.
Well, that's you. I've only been to like 3 Centralia or WF West.
Well, you're not. The big city Trent gets to go to the big games.
I know. I gotta.
You're the 2B rover.
I think I've been on Alaska like 4 times with no service.
Have you been to PL?
I have for a volleyball game.
Yeah.
I've been to Mossy.
You've been
once.
to Mossy? Yep.
Let's see. I've only been to Tumwater like twice.
Have you been to Rainier?
Yeah, that was the first game I covered. Toledo.
All right. Thrilling walk down memory lane.
Sorry.
What, I can't.
We never did the Who Have They Played segment.
I know. I will.
That's
You'll
okay.
just have to imagine. The answer is not many people.
We let you down,
Sorry.
listeners. We let you down.
What are you guys covering Friday night?
I am handing out the Swamp Cup trophy.
Ooh, wow. Big honor.
Yep, I'm super lucky.
Don't drop it. It was expensive. Do you have both helmets?
We do have both helmets.
Okay, good.
We do. Yep.
Well, you
Can't
should
believe I
have.
gotta
bring
miss
You,
that.
Shahela still has the trophy and helmet. Or did you go
Yeah.
get the trophy from him?
They must still have it. But we have the
Okay.
tiger helmet here.
Okay, make sure you take that with you.
Yep.
It's important.
Should I bring the little mask too?
It's up to you. You don't really need it. It was a gimmick the first time. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not part of the trophy. It's not canon.
I'm going to try to get Crawler to shoot it so I can go up in the press box. And I hear that there's still like a coat hanger with your name on it, or spot for you to hang your coat.
That was in
Is that true?
the baseball press box.
Oh,
I don't know
it
if
was
it's still there or
baseball.
not. The WF West football press box. Ivor Hoagland used to bring in pie, former Bearcat football coach, for the press box people.
If for the football games?
Yeah, he'd bring in pie and ice cream for halftime.
Is that still a thing?
I don't know. I haven't been up there in a while, but yeah, I would bring in like
that still a thing?
fresh pie that he'd baked that afternoon, and it was really funny to hear like this former football coach they'd just like talking football. I had to kill that guy during the game, and then it ends, and it's like, oh, Ivor, this is delicious. What did you put in this? He's like, well, I picked the rhubarb myself this afternoon. Great stuff. Ivor's great. The press box crew at WF West is fantastic too.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah, if you can get up there, that's fun.
I haven't been in a press box yet this year. No.
Neither have I. I'm headed to Forks Napavine for a half.
Oh, that'll
2
be fun.
undefeateds. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Eric Rosane, our news reporter, is covering the Pioneer Bowl for us.
Oh, Rosane getting back out there, chopping it up with the boys.
Yeah.
Good for Rosane.
He offered.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Sports Dump. We'll be back next week to tell you what happened in Week 8 and try to predict what will happen in Week 9 and going forward with the football playoffs. Thanks for listening.